Okay, so yesterday we ended up with this, we finished off with the Seder, Tashlachum, and Hagov, and we learned about certain inyanim from over here. So we're gonna continue with the other ideas from here that we didn't see yesterday. A few other points regarding this. Okay, you have an interesting tshuva over here of saying tashlich by a aquarium, and what the story is over here. So the Sefer HaMinhagim says that you should go to a place where there's fish, and there's many reasons, as we already learned. So there's a concept of going to an area that has fish, right? That's the idea, even if it's not a flowing river, right? So we see that because of the reasons of the fish, there's an idea of going to an area where there are fish, right? Even if there's no body of water. That's what we see from over this. However, some say that the ikar is that you need water that's actually flowing, that's not still, such as in a river. So therefore, in a place where there's no other possibility, unless a person is going to go to an aquarium, so he should go there. However, the shaila becomes if a person has two possibilities, either to go to an aquarium, right, with fish, or to a well with water, but there's no fish. So they say over here about this rabbi who
we're talking about any time during a series, like anytime during a series of tshuva, or when are we talking about?
Talking about on Rosh Hashana, right?
On Rosh Hashana.
Possibility. You have two possibilities. Either you could go to repeat the shaila again to an aquarium with fish, aka fish tank in someone's house.
On Rosh Hashana.
Or you could go to a well of water, but there's no fish. So apparently this shaila happened to someone, and there's an aquarium there. And that's the idea. But it seems like the bear would take priority, the well would take priority. Chaim Vital doesn't mention fish, and it could be the truth is that the well, the way that it's dug, eventually when you dig underground, that water is somehow connected to a yam, which would have fish anyways, so it's kind of connected. So you could say that idea as well.
Do reservoirs have fish? No, they're just water, right?
I'm not sure.
Not usually.
I'm sure you'd have to Google that. But this is the idea. If we're coming along and we're saying this far that a well in the ground would potentially could potentially be connected to a yam of some sort, so then that's the idea over here of why you would go to a well. Okay, so that's the hara over there.
So at the end of the day, a pond which doesn't have flowing water is still good enough.
Because you have the fish, yeah. We're talking the lichachil, it seems like if you want to cover all opinions, you go to an ocean.
Ocean is anything connected to the ocean.
Yeah, if you don't have that, so then yeah. But there's more than that. An ocean has more than just a river because there's significance perhaps behind the waves. Again, I'm talking about if you want to go according to everyone.
I mean, the Rav knows how Farako is, right? There's where what do they call it? The sea water, whatever.
Canal.
There's a canal that leads into the bay that leads into the ocean.
Correct.
And unless you want to walk mamish to the ocean.
Right. Yeah. It seems like if you're in a place
that's right near right by the Atlantic Beach Bridge.
Yeah.
Before the Atlantic Beach Bridge.
Yeah, I know that. Okay, so is it fitting to say tashlich b'tzibur? So this is a shayla that we didn't touch until now. Is there an inyan of saying tashlich with the tzibur? So it's brought down that there's an idea of doing it with the tzibur. And also you have the psukim, which are corresponding to the Yud Gimel Midos of Rachmim, and therefore there should be a minyan. It's also mashma. That was the bells, also mashma from the Darchei Chaim V'Shalom. You have time, and the tzibur is already going on Rosh Hashana. You should go. Al Yifrosh Min HaTzibur.
Wow.
So you see that there is an idea from the tzibur. Rav Chaim Kanievsky says that we don't find anywhere that you need a minyan. So some say the tefillah b'tzibur won't go back empty-handed, but we don't find that you need a tzibur.
Would you say kaddish at the end?
Not that I'm aware of. It's not part of tashlich. Okay, what about feeding the fish? So this we already discussed, but let's see his take on it because he has some interesting ideas. Again, Avraham writes, the minhag of Klal Yisrael, minhag Yisrael Torah, ish minhag zesmach. In general, as minhagim, they have a basis of some sort. So, first of all, he says it's only usher if you put the food right in front of them, right? So if it's not in front of them, it wouldn't be an issue like we saw.
Why
Right?
doesn't
The
it
Gemara only took what?
why doesn't it make a big deal about the parshas b'shalach, the birds?
Yeah, what do you mean?
There is, I don't know, there's some sort of minhag with the bird that they feed. Not a minhag, but some people would feed the birds on parshas b'shalach. They say, no, you can't
That's the
feed the
same
birds.
shiloh. So that's the same shiloh. If you're not putting it right in front of them, they're gonna come after, so then it's fine. Right? That's what we're saying. You might come to trap them already. We already learned about all of this unnecessary exertion. It's only a problem if you're moving something unnecessarily. Tilto shelo l'tzarech. But since you're doing this to remember the Chesed Hashem, right? Because the Ophos also said Shira, meaning Yisrael Torah, so then it could be permissible, perhaps. But he says, "Miyois tov al tekera." Nothing bad will happen. You're trying to do good. Has to do maybe with the Shira.
By Shabbos Shira?
Yeah, it seems like he's talking about Shira over here.
By Shabbos Shira, that's what I was talking about.
Right. Yeah, it seems like.
They said it's okay at the end of the day if you do the.
Right. You're doing the Shem mitzvah, but the Mishna Berurah is against this,
Oh yeah.
as we already know. So now taking that idea, yeah, it seems like it was from Shabbat Shir and applying it over here. Could you feed the fish? So the Sefer Yad Yosef writes that it's a bad minhag to do this. Maybe if you're doing it for a remez like Shabbat Shir over here, so too you have some sort of hint that you're doing it for. Maybe there's a reason for it. There's an interesting reason. The Sefer Minhag Yisrael Torah, he says the pshat is that one of the reasons why we go to the river that has fish, as we explained before, is we're compared to fish. We could get caught at any moment by a net. So you could say over here as well, you're going to throw the food to the fish, that just like we have mercy on the fish, which are getting gathered in a net suddenly, so too Hashem should have mercy on us. So that's the idea over here. We have mercy on the fish that could get held in a net and could get trapped suddenly, so too us as well. So that's another reason, symbolizing Hashem's rachamim on us. Another reason for the fish for doing it. Right? If you don't see them, it might not be an issue. If you're doing it for your own needs, we said it wasn't a problem. You're doing it symbolizing you're throwing away your sins. It symbolizes the rachamim. You have this new idea over here. Right? We're showing our mercy by giving them food. So that's the idea over here. Okay, he's bringing from the Orchos Rabbeinu, from the Stipler, that he would put the food down after Shabbos Shira to keep the minhag. Wouldn't do it on Rosh Hashana itself, but it would be after. So he says, Lafiza, if a person didn't say Shachler, according to this, right? First of all, he's saying from all of this before the Stipler, Lechachila, you shouldn't do it. Lechachila, anyant of itself, you really shouldn't do it. We're coming on to potential leniencies of why it could be okay. It seems like from all of the mainstream poskim, it's going to be a problem to do. That's what we say. Okay, so lechachila, you shouldn't do it. Fine. Then he's saying the Stipler, in order to be mekayim this minhag, so to say, he would put it out after. He would put it out after Shabbos Shira, right? And that's what he would do. So you could do that also. So he says, based on that idea, if someone didn't say tashlich on Rosh Hashana himself, and he's gonna be saying it during the Aseret Shemei Tshuva,
Then,
or yeah, fine. So then you should put the food out, which is pashut. Then you could already bring the bread. So that's the story over there. Lechachila, stay away from it on Yontif. Afterwards, you could do it. All right, that's that one. And these are much shorter. Okay, there's nothing in here we gotta see. I think there was one more that had chuvas from Chaim Kanevsky, which is very short psukim, which is interesting to see. Is this last one? Yeah. So this is a small section in the back of the Sefer Seder Tashlich and Hagav, a whole Sefer on Tashlich. Charles at the from Chaim Kanevsky. How far do you need to go? A half an hour? He said maybe you should even walk a half an hour to go.
wow,
Is there an Indian to say tashlich? That's not like what we saw in the back of the
Right, maybe
the
there's
maluim
a
of the meiser, right? Is there an Indian to say tashlich? What tzibur loy matzino? We don't find there's an Indian. An aquarium, is there an idea of that? If there's no body of water, you say by the aquarium. So then he lines up the preference of where you should go. Yam, first is an ocean, then a river, then you should go to a well which gets its water from the ground itself. Then Be'er Mayim Chaim. I'm not sure the difference between the two. A well of live water.
I don't know what the difference.
I don't know the difference. Then a bor imayim, a pit with water. A blor bimayim, just a pit without water. Liros mirachok, to look at a river and ocean from far. Braz b'bayis, sink in the house. He says, Yam and so they asked, is that the order? So he said, no, that's not the order. He said the river and the ocean is the same, according to Chaim Kanevsky, which is a chiddush. According to some, maybe an ocean would be better
Yam Nar meaning they're the same, and then
in terms of the status, but then everything else is
everything
fine.
else is still the same.
Now the
It's not-
aquarium is missing over here. There's no fish tank over here. So that's
Let's call that a Bora Mayim.
I don't know. I just don't know. So maybe.
It's gotta fit somewhere in there.
Yeah. So this is the chuv over there. I think that's gonna be it for the for this. And it's Erev Rosh Hashana today. We're not gonna have time, but all of this I did type up in Word. It might be kedai to go through, but it's 15 pages.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't think we're gonna finish this today. So with 112 footnotes, and the truth is I should really perfect this a little bit more. So maybe we'll go through this. Maybe I'm just gonna email this to everyone now anyways, without going through it, and then we'll go through it after, and it'll be really lishma, because we should really organize everything, because we did a lot of work on this. We spent a lot of time, and once you have it, so I'm gonna send this email out, and then we'll do that. All right. So in the meantime, I want to say a little Dvar Torah on Rosh Hashana. How do you do this? Stop that.